Let's watch these three videos together. This is a man, a regular citizen, by the way, kicking the Prime Minister of England, the highest office in the government, out of his restaurants.
That man is not allowed in my pub. Get out of my pub. Go on. Get out of my pub. Thank you.
And the Prime Minister actually left. Now to our second video. This is the Prime Minister of Australia. And this is a regular citizen telling him to get out of his lawn.
Sure, let's just move back from there.
Come on. Hey guys, I've just reseated that.
Yeah, please, off the thing.
Sorry, mate.
All good? That's all good. Thanks.
And to our third video, this is a man, a regular citizen, by the way, telling the President of the United States jokingly not to touch his girlfriend.
I really wasn't planning on it.
I am sorry. Please
I
excuse
know.
me now.
There's an example of a brother just embarrassing you for no reason.
Embarrassing.
Just for no reason whatsoever.
Now, this is the late former governor of Oyo State, Abiola Ajimobi, addressing a crowd of university protesters after their school was shut down for 8 months.
You can need little respect for constituted authority, no matter what. No matter what. Till we bad Rabi, 8 months of what? And you got not into school now. So what? That's if I'm about me sorrow here. Sherry gbogbo nǹkan bá fẹ́ ṣe ẹ lọ ṣe. Ṣẹ́gbọ́n ẹ lọ ṣe. Tẹ́ bá fẹ́ sọ di jàgídíjàgan àdúró dè yìí. Ohun tó bá fẹ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ kó ṣẹlẹ̀. Let me tell you, ǹjẹ́ mi fẹ́ sìn ni pé bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe wá bí ó yẹ kẹ́ ẹ wá ọ̀gá wọ́n ti school wa o gọ́vnọ̀ something with your behavior I'm not going to talk to you again. It's the constituted authority for Oyo State. Even if I don't pay salaries, I don't pay this, the fact is that I'm the constituted authority. It does not remove that authority.
Now, compared to these countries I mentioned, Australia, America, and the United Kingdom, why are we Nigerians and Africa, if you want to add that, so obsessed with basically worshipping people in positions of power? And this has been ingrained with us since when we were children. Think all the way back when you were in school. Seniors could literally bully juniors and basically treat them like slaves, all in the name of them being older than them. Or do you remember who used to win the best behaved awards in school? It was always quiet, submissive children that barely even speak. Because in Nigeria, being quiet and submissive was seen as being respectful. And children that were brave and outgoing and could speak their mind were seen as disrespectful or disobedient. And especially when it comes to elders, you can literally get insulted because you didn't bow low enough or something. So there are two things I'm going to do in this video. The first is that I'm going to go back in time and compare why Nigeria has such a different mentality and mindset to authority to countries like the United Kingdom and the United States, because screw Australia. And I'm going to talk about the three institutions where this respect mentality reigns and why, as long as they remain there, we actually cannot move on as a country. Now, starting off with the United States. When it comes to independence, the United States and Nigeria actually share a lot of similarities. Some people might not know this, but the United States was actually under the colonial rule of Britain until it ended in 1763, ending a 176-year colonial history. But the way it ended is actually very different compared to Nigeria. As you know, we negotiated with the British to give us our independence. But in America, there was an 8-year-long war, which, spoilers, America won and kicked the British out and became a sovereign nation. Now, this is actually a huge difference. America kicked them out while we negotiated with them. In his book, The Wretched of the Earth, the author, Franz Fanon, was a psychiatrist in Algeria while Algeria was under the colonial rule of France. He was from France, but when he went to Algeria and saw what was going on, he actually switched sides and stayed with Algeria and supported them fighting for freedom from colonialism. And he said in his book that decolonization is a naturally violent process because colonization was violence, and what has to end it completely is violence also. He also said And I quote, violence is a cleansing force. It frees the native from his inferiority complex and from his despair. And in action, it makes him fearless and restores his self-respect. For change to happen in colonial terms, it has to be taken, not negotiated. That's the issue. Because we negotiated with them, we actually didn't fully kick out the British. They still had their pounds in Nigeria and were dictating things behind the scenes. And because of this, over 60 years later, since we gained our independence, we have always had an inferiority complex to the white man. This is just the truth. We treat white people better than we treat ourselves in our own country. That's why imported goods sell so much. Nobody wants to see made in Aba, but when you see made in the United Kingdom, people will definitely want to buy. The United Kingdom did damage to us psychologically when they came in the first place with their fancy weapons and then colonized us. And to be fair, we put up a good fight, but at the end, they still won. They came, dismantled, and replaced our whole system. That's why now, if somebody speaks English but not their native language, they are seen as at least normal. But if somebody doesn't speak English and does speak their native language, they are seen as poor. And most of the time, in truth, they actually are, because this is what the system rewards. Now, the US kicked them out through violence. And because they beat the big bad bully, they didn't have this inferiority complex. If you come and beat somebody up, you're not going to be scared of the person or see them as this all-powerful force. Because you're seeing him on the ground with blood dripping down his face. You clearly beat him and send them packing. For a long time after their independence, the Americans actually really hated the British. But the US just grew and grew and grew and became such a huge world power that they didn't care anymore. And the British and the United States are now seen more as friends than enemies. We see that in World War II, where they and the Soviet Union teamed up to beat Hitler and the Germans. But that slave-master relationship with the Britain has never left us. And that mental image is just not healthy. Because now wealth and status makes people think that they've reached the white man's level, that they can finally sit with the big boys, sit with them. And then they now see their own people as inferior to them. Why do you think that a lot of people act so high and mighty when they're in Nigeria, but when they leave this country and go out, maybe for holiday or vacation, they can compose themselves and act like a regular citizen? Burna Boy said that he actually prefers Nigeria to the United States because, in his own words, he has more freedom in Nigeria.
How you like America compared to Nigeria?
You know what it is, bro? I like freedom. You know?
Okay.
And it's like, there's no place where I get... It's like the definition of freedom is in my country.
Yeah.
I can never be fully free here.
Damn.
You know?
What he means by that is that he can blatantly disrespect traffic laws and no one will do anything because in Nigeria, he is above the law. But when he's outside, he needs to compose himself. If not, he will be arrested.
And why do you feel like that? Like, you get what I'm saying?
Because niggas go to jail.
Facts.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, all the best niggas end up in jail, bro. You feel me? And I know that's not what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
I'm not singling out Burna Boy. This is what the system is. Obviously, most people are going to take advantage of this. That's why rich, connected people in Nigeria basically see themselves as gods. Look at this senator threatening his dispatch rider that he's going to kill him and nothing is going to happen.
You know where you are? Do you know who I am? You will not see any. You will not see penny from me. With this level of disrespect, how can this stupid idiot come to my house and tell me that I'm supposed to come and meet him in his car and pick up snail that I'm buying from you? Can you imagine this rat? I can make this man to disappear in the whole Nigeria and nothing will happen.
And I can bet you everything that if he goes outside this country to the Britain or the United States or Australia, he's not going to talk like this. Because to them, mentally, and even to the vast majority of us, black is inferior, white is superior. This is why Nigerians are so hell-bent on respect here, because they see their own people as less than them.
Nigga, what you want? I want you over my house cutting my grass like you supposed to be.
Well, too bad for you, cause I just took another job. And even though they don't pay hardly nothing, working for white folks look way better on my resume.
Damn it, this is the 4th week in a row you cancel on me. The yard looks like a jungle.
Well, Tim, you 3 vine swingers should feel right at home. I'll be there when the white man don't need me no more. And let this be yet another reminder that no matter how much money you got, you still just a nigga.
Now, what about Britain, the Great Britain, that ruled and colonized almost half the world? How did a nation that started with a monarchy change and become so relaxed with authority that someone can actually heckle the prince while in public? Now, Britain used to have kings and queens ruling the country. And these people believed that they had a God-given right to rule and basically do whatever they wanted. But gradually, through civil wars and different reasons, they moved into the parliamentary system that they are practicing today. And now a citizen can tell the prime minister to get out of his restaurant and nothing will happen. There are many reasons for this, but for me, the main one that relates to Nigeria is this, and that is prosperity and wealth. Trust me, when large-scale wealth comes, like everybody in a country is enjoying wealth and the country is moving forward, a lot of problems are going to disappear. When people are enjoying and they don't have to worry about where their next meal will come from, they are going to stand up and they are going to want more rights. They are going to want more freedom and they are going to want more accountability from the people that are ruling them. And they are going to lose that sense of awe for the people in power. Look at what the British Prime Minister said in 1957.
Go around the country, go to the industrial town, or go to the farm, and you will see such a state of prosperity as we have never had in my lifetime, nor indeed ever in the history of this country. What is beginning to worry us, some of us, is just this, especially some of the older ones of us, who remember the old days. It's this. Is it too good to be true?
Societal wealth means better opportunities, meaning that you don't have to beg for scraps just to make it in life. You don't need connected people to push you forward because the government is already providing these opportunities for you. You just have to be good at what you do. And when there's opportunities available without needing to beg, people begin to have self-respect. They begin to see their lives as worth a lot and begin to see themselves as actual human beings, not under people. United States and the United Kingdom all went through this period of prosperity, and Nigeria, sad to say, has never been rich since it was formed, never. And when I mean this, I mean that the vast majority of the population has always been poor. There was not one time in the history of Nigeria that it wasn't like this. During the oil boom in the 70s, which was Nigeria's best ever period of all time, by the way, wealth wasn't shared properly. When Nigeria started to boom, this money was concentrated in big cities like Lagos, for example. And people from the village came from there to Lagos for a chance at a better life. And they saw in the system, you have to kiss up to people higher than you in the social ladder just to climb up. Whether it be your boss, pastor, uncle, whatever, you have to kiss up with somebody. Because this is how it's been since we gained independence. It's always been like this. That's why Nigerians basically devalue themselves in front of people in a higher social class than they are. You see how we are what we are today. The wealthy see themselves as better than the rest because we still have this mental capacity, this mental ideology that the black man is inferior. So when you made it, you see yourself as white in quotes and see the rest of your people as inferior to you, and you start to act like you're a god. And the masses basically worship rich and connected people because they believe, and true, it is the only way that you can actually be able to move up and become better in your life or your career. It's what we call a symbiotic relationship. And the thing is that this is not going to change, not at this rate. Kata Ife, one of, if not Nigeria's biggest streamer, was with B-Lord, a billionaire, and he was about to miss his flights. Watch this.
Yeah. You won't go to flex, make the way for us. Which side? Anambra like this. W's. Jesus! Give me the mic. Billboard. Wait, you want me to stop flight for us? Now lie! Jesus, Billboard, get level. Billboard, get level. Billboard, stop food and play. Jesus! Flight and officer don't miss. Jesus Christ, I must be rich.
Like he delayed the whole flight. And I'm sure he doesn't own that plane, the airplane. And even if he did, you should not have the power to delay the whole flight. Who knows the people that were in that flight, whether they were in a hurry for something? If you were there, you know the reason why your flight was delayed now. And when people see things like the video we just watched, their first reaction isn't to see that this is not fair, isn't to be angry. Their first reaction is to be like, hey man, that's going to be me one day. That's their first, they'll be like, the God of Lord will be for me. And one day it's going to be them that can take advantage of the system. You don't hate what's happening in this country because you aspire to be like that someday. Somebody said something, I forgot where I saw it, and I totally agree. You can't out hustle the structure you're in. As long as the structure is there, most Nigerians are going to fail. What am I trying to say at the end of the day? Nigeria can be better, but not if we, the generation that we thought that we are going to be the ones to move it forward. We can't keep on repeating the mistakes that our parents and the generation before us made. But we can, I still believe there's still a small hope. We can be better, sincerely. But we have to put the collective needs before our own individual needs. We have to let go of this I better pass my neighbor mentality. Only then can we actually become the nation that we were destined to be. Thanks for watching the video. Let me know what you think down in the comments.
Please subscribe. Please subscribe. Please subscribe.